I'm a poor person. My boyfriend is too. But when I asked him how much 2 starch sausages cost, given that one costs $3, he stammered and couldn't answer. I became suspicious and told my best friend that I thought my boyfriend might be faking being poor. He doesn't even know how much 2 starch sausages cost. You surely know, right? My best friend, Mia, looked flustered and pretended to be calm, saying, "Of course I know." Later, at the 5-star restaurant where I worked part-time, I saw them both holding a book titled Essential Knowledge for the Poor and mumbling to themselves. When you subscribe to a $9.9 auto renewal service, the first thing you should do is cancel the auto renewal. Chicken collarbone costs $15 per kilogram. And if you buy 1 kilogram, you'll get half kilogram for free. My boyfriend Oliver was on the verge of a breakdown as he recited, "Damn it, hurry up and memorize."
Welcome to listen to my full sweet love series novel. I'm the blogger and I'm Twilight's novel. Now let's start the main story.
I grew up in a mountain valley with my boyfriend, Oliver, and my best friend, Mia. The difference was that when we were 10 years old, Oliver and Mia, the brother-sister pair, were taken away by their parents who worked in the city. When he left, he held me and cried, "Emily, we don't know when we'll see each other again. Emily, what are we going to do without you? Emily, come with us." As soon as Oliver finished speaking, his mother hit him on the head. "You not only run wild with Emily all day long, but now you're trying to abduct her? When you grow up and earn money, then you can see Emily and live a good life. Got it?" Oliver nodded while sniffling and said, "Got it." He and Mia each held one of my hands. "Emily, we're both going to get into Tsinghua University. Let's meet there in college." Oliver's mother looked at them and couldn't help but laugh. "Do you even know where Tsinghua University is?" I raised my hand and said, "Auntie, I know. Tsinghua University is in the northern city." Oliver's mother stroked my head and said, "Good girl, Emily. Auntie will come back to see you with Oliver and Mia when she has time." I nodded vigorously. It was an 8-year separation. It was not until we went to college that I saw Oliver and Mia again. 8 years passed, and we all changed a lot in appearance. The only thing that remained the same was our poverty. It was actually because of poverty that we met again. One day, I was working part-time in the cafeteria. A boy with an empty plate tentatively called out, "Emily?" I turned around and saw a boy who exuded an air of wealth. "Excuse me, who are you?" The boy was overjoyed. "It's really you, Emily." He pointed at himself excitedly. "I'm Oliver." Upon hearing this, my eyes widened. "Oliver? You're Oliver." Looking at his rich young master-like appearance, I was happy for him. "Oliver, you seem to be living a good life now, right?" To my surprise, he looked at me with teary eyes, like a puppy's. "We're not doing well. I haven't eaten for 2 days. Could you treat me to a meal?" I was shocked. After I finished my part-time job, I quickly took him to a restaurant outside. He also invited Mia. Before Mia arrived, Oliver told me in detail about their lives in these years. He said that after his parents took them away, they started doing some small business in the big city. At first, they did earn some money, but later, due to the poor economic environment, they lost all the money and were deeply in debt. Later, in order to pay off the debts, his mother became a nanny and his father became a driver. Until now, the family's debts have not been fully paid off. So the clothes he and Mia wore were all picked up from his mother's employer's house. After hearing this, I felt pity for them. Since taking Oliver and Mia away, his parents had never come back. Some people said they had made a fortune and settled down outside, while others said they might be living a hard life and didn't want to return to their hometown. It was not until today that I understood their situation, and I felt even sadder. So, I slapped the table and said, "Oliver, you and Mia can order whatever you like today. It's on me." Just then, a girl carrying a designer handbag sat down in front of us. "What's going on, Oliver?" "I'm in the middle of a party." I was stunned when I saw this girl. "Mia." She seemed to notice me at this moment. I smiled and said, "Mia, I'm Emily." Her eyes lit up. "Emily. It's really you." We happily stood up and hugged each other. Oliver quickly separated us. "Mia, Emily, we're so hungry. She's going to treat us to a meal." Mia paused. "We haven't eaten for days." Before Mia could finish, Oliver looked at her seriously. Why are you wearing fake clothes to work part-time at the party again? I told you not to go. Mia's eyes widened. Fake. Then she was pulled aside by Oliver. Emily, excuse me for a moment. I need to teach Mia a lesson. I nodded blankly. What's going on? It seemed that Mia didn't know her clothes were fake. When they came back, Mia hugged me and cried. Emily, we finally see you again. You have no idea how poor our family is. We don't even have the money for the trip back home. Emily, I'm so hungry. What's going on? She wasn't like this just now. Oliver said that he and Mia hadn't eaten for 2 days. So that day, I almost ordered every dish on the menu. Mia stared blankly at the dishes served. I asked worriedly, what's wrong? Don't you like them? Oliver quickly replied, of course not. It's just that Mia hasn't eaten such good food for a long time. Then he asked Mia, right, sister? Mia nodded abruptly. Oliver added, don't let Emily's kindness go to waste. Don't be wasteful. I don't remember how much they ate that day. All I remember is that at the end, Mia was stuffing food into her mouth while crying. I felt even more heartbroken. How long had they been hungry to be so moved? In the end, they finished the whole table of food. Mia was helped back by Oliver. Before leaving, Oliver said, thank you, Emily. We'll come to see you again next time. Mia couldn't help but let out an oh. As they walked away, I faintly heard Mia say, you're really screwing me over. After that, whenever Oliver and Mia were short of money, they would come to me for a free meal. We were as close as we were when we were kids. We worked part-time during our spare time. And in the process of getting along day by day, Oliver and I developed special feelings for each other. In our sophomore year, with Mia's help, Oliver became my boyfriend. I remember on the day he confessed, all my roommates were there. When they saw the scene Oliver set up for me, they were shocked. They whispered to me, what's going on? Didn't you say your boyfriend was poor? I nodded. Yes, he's really poor. He borrowed $100 from me this morning. My roommate's eyes widened. What? Even if he's poor, he shouldn't borrow money from his girlfriend, right? Another roommate, Ella, nodded in agreement. That's right. Spending money on a man will bring bad luck. I scratched my head in embarrassment. No, he's not that kind of person. His family is really in a difficult situation, and he always pays me back. They both said in unison, always? Then how poor is he? Luna reacted and said, oh, we're getting off topic. This isn't the point right now. Emily, do you know how much it costs to set up this confession scene? I was surprised. Do you have to pay for setting up a scene? Of course. This was set up by D. Lan Hua Company. It costs $100,000. What? I looked at Ella, and our expressions seemed to say, I'm doomed. Later, I mentioned this to Oliver. Oliver, my roommate said that the confession scene you set up for me was by that D. Lan Hua Company, and they said it cost $100,000. Is it true? Oliver was having dinner with me at that time. After hearing what I said, his hand shook, and the rice in his hand almost fell. Fortunately, I caught it in time. Seeing his reaction, I had a bad feeling. You didn't really hire that company, did you? Spent $100,000? Where did you get the money? Didn't you take out a loan online? After hearing my series of questions, Oliver gradually calmed down. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been vain and hired a fake company to set up the scene. This is our first love. I just wanted to make you look good, but I ended up making things worse and getting you questioned by your roommates. I was relieved. Fortunately, you hired a fake one. If you had hired a real one and spent $100,000, I would have been really angry. Fake is okay. Just don't lie to me. I hate being lied to the most. Oliver's chopsticks accidentally dropped to the ground again. I picked them up for him. I'm not doubting you. I just want to get things clear. I was really happy that day. Whether it was real or fake, I felt your love for me. Later, I explained the situation to my roommates. Ella nodded. Although it was fake, he didn't brag about how expensive the scene was in front of you. He didn't try to show off. Luna also agreed. Just based on the sense of ceremony of this confession, he's better than many men. But I've never heard that there's a substitute for this. You can ask Oliver which company it is later. I might use it next time. I nodded happily and took out my cosmetics to start putting on makeup. Ella suddenly exclaimed when she saw my cosmetics. "Emily, you've made it big. You bought a foundation that costs over $1,000. I was stunned. No, I didn't. She took a look at my makeup bag and was shocked. Emily, what's going on? All your cosmetics are so expensive. That lipstick alone costs $500. So you're actually a hidden rich person. At this time, Lily, the rich girl in our dormitory, heard Ella's words and chuckled. Ella, I'm afraid you've never seen a real wealthy young lady. You think Emily is rich just like this? I bet these are fake. Ella came over and examined them carefully. I'm sure I'm not mistaken. My mom uses the same ones. She showed them to Lily. Look, you can't mistake these for fakes, right? Lily's face changed instantly. She looks so poor. Who knows where she got these cosmetics? I stared at the cosmetics in front of me. These were all given to me by Mia. That night, when I was on a date with Oliver, I asked him indirectly. Oliver, what's Mia up to lately? He blurted out. Mia is probably out shopping. I was a little worried. Since going to college, I had heard a lot about female college students going astray because of their poor family backgrounds. Mia's family is so poor, but she's always shopping lately and giving me such expensive cosmetics. Could she have done something stupid? I couldn't help but blame Oliver. You know our family is in a difficult situation, but Mia is always shopping and giving me expensive cosmetics. Aren't you worried? Do you think money grows on trees? As her brother, can't you care more about her? Oliver was stunned, as if he just realized what he had said. No, it's just that Mia recently got a part-time job as an extra. She has to walk around and shop in the mall. Sometimes she gets freebies from brand owners. I guess she got too many freebies and gave them to you. Mia definitely didn't do anything stupid. I was skeptical. I talked to Mia every day, but she never mentioned being an extra in the mall. I was about to send Mia a message when Oliver stopped me quickly. Oliver thought for a while. Mia is rather proud. She gave you those things because she was afraid you'd feel bad. Just trust me on this. Don't ask. If you're really worried, I'll talk to Mia next time. I nodded hesitantly. When Oliver was seeing me back, I heard him talking on the phone in the distance. We almost got exposed. You know what to say. When Oliver calls, just say some strange things. He said it was his friend chasing a girl and he was giving advice. It's strange. Hasn't he caught her after chasing for over a year? When I got back to the dormitory, Ella and Luna were watching short videos and laughing out loud. Ella saw me and waved. Emily, you're back just in time. I'll ask you. If a starch sausage costs $3 each, how much are two? Lily, who was beside her, looked speechless. You're asking such an elementary school level question? It's $6. Ella and Luna laughed even louder. So it's true. Rich young masters and ladies really don't know. I immediately replied, $3 for one, $5 for two. Correct. Lily didn't understand this advanced calculation method. Ella was laughing so hard. Lily, Miss Rich, you don't understand this, do you? Luna looked at the video and said, I'll ask another one. Chicken collarbone costs $15 per kilogram. If I give the boss $15, how many kilogram can I get? This time, Lily didn't dare to answer rashly. I announced the correct answer, 1.5 kilogram, because if you buy 1 kilogram, you get half a kilogram for free. Ella and Luna cheered again for the correct answer. Lily looked a bit unhappy. I don't believe it. Let's have another one. Listen up. If you collect and pay an extra $0.1 in a guachao-style restaurant, what can you get? This time, Lily fell completely silent. What kind of question is this? I confidently replied. Sausage. All correct. Emily, congratulations on passing our poor people's test. My smile disappeared immediately. Damn it, I just revealed that I'm poor. Now it was Lily's turn to laugh. I knew I couldn't answer. It's all about our financial status. I fell silent. Does money really make a difference? The next second I felt sad. Money really does matter. I started to suspect that something was up with Oliver. It was during one of our dates. Halfway through the date, he received a phone call and suddenly had to leave. Sorry, Emily. Something came up at home. He didn't return to school until very late that day. When he came back, he brought me some snacks. I was a little surprised when I saw him downstairs. He explained, after dealing with things at home, I just passed by a snack store and bought some. When I took the snacks back to the dormitory, Lily had just returned. She casually threw a bag on the table. Here, have some snacks. I looked at her bag and then at the one in my hand. They were exactly the same. Miss Rich, did you also pass by a snack store? She gave me a disdainful look. What snack store? These were forced on me at a party. Ella and Luna were curious. Miss Rich, what kind of party was it? She frowned. It's a party for rich people to get to know each other. There were family heirs, rising stars in the industry, and so on. Ella exclaimed, so high class. Is this what the social life of rich people is like? They opened the snacks Lily brought back and exclaimed while eating. I silently went back to my desk and stared at the bag of snacks, lost in thought. Family heirs, rising stars in the industry. I ruled out the first possibility. Could it be that Oliver was secretly starting a business and making money? The next day, I asked Oliver on the road. Oliver, if a starch sausage costs 3, how much are 2? Just as he was about to answer, I couldn't help but add, this is a popular poor people's test question on the internet recently. The rich girl in our dormitory didn't know the answer at all. She said it was $6. Oliver suddenly swallowed his words. 2? How could it be $6? Ha, ha, truly worthy of being Miss Lily. She doesn't even know such a simple question. I stared at him. So, what do you think the answer is? He panicked and scratched his head. Emily, you know I don't like starch sausages. I'm not asking you to eat them. Can't you even answer such a simple question? Emily, I just remembered that I left the gas in my dormitory on. Watching his hasty retreating figure, I became even more suspicious. He told me his family was poor, but every time we met, he wore different clothes. Although he explained that they were picked up from his mother's employer's house, which family would have so many expensive clothes for others to pick up? If there is such a family, let me know, and I'll go and pick them up. Moreover, sometimes Oliver clearly couldn't afford to eat at school, but the restaurants we went to for dates were always expensive. He never let me pay. Whenever I asked, he said he bought coupons on an online shopping platform. The more I thought about it, the weirder it seemed. I had to go and ask Mia. Mia was sitting in front of me, sipping her drink with a big smile. Emily, you finally remembered me. You have no idea how stressed I've been with that group assignment lately. I'm so glad you came to see me. I looked at Mia. She was wearing washed-out clothes and carrying a bag with a hole in it. The thought that Mia and Oliver were family heirs was dispelled from my mind once again. Mia, don't you think your brother is a bit strange? Mia's hand stopped in midair as she was about to take a sip. What happened? Did you two quarrel? I shook my head. I think he's lying to me. Mia looked up in a panic. Ah! I carefully told her my doubts. Look, he always wears new designer clothes, and every time we go on a date, he takes me to high-end restaurants. After listening to me, Mia closed her eyes and cursed. This idiot! I didn't hear clearly, so I asked, Mia, what did you say? I think it's all just a coincidence. After all, he's my brother. If he were rich, I would know. Speaking of this, I couldn't help but think of that question. Mia, your brother doesn't even know how much 2 starch sausages cost, given that one is $3. You surely know, right? Mia suddenly looked flustered, but still pretended to be calm. Of course I know. Yeah, people who are short on money should know these common sense things. Next time, I'll definitely ask Oliver more questions. As soon as I finished speaking, the spoon in Mia's hand dropped to the ground. Why do these 2 siblings keep dropping things? In the evening, Lily came up to me. Emily, I heard you're going to sign up for the programming competition. I nodded and replied, yeah. She sneered. I advise you to withdraw quickly. Everyone participating in this competition is either rich or powerful. You can't compete with us. Besides, we're participating in these competitions to study abroad in the future. Even if you participate and get a good grade, what can you do with it? Do you have the money to study abroad? I slowly tidied up my books. First of all, I've only heard that competitions are related to personal abilities, not family backgrounds. If you think I'm a threat, why mock me? Second, what I do with my competition results has nothing to do with you. Don't be so controlling over other people's lives. Ella and Luna also stood up for me. Yeah, Miss Rich, you can't stop others from participating just because you're in it. Lily's face darkened, and she turned to leave. Before leaving, she stared at the snacks on my desk that Oliver had given me for several times. 2 days later, when there was no one in the dormitory, she suddenly blocked my way. She smiled triumphantly. Emily, you're so pitiful. You're being played for a fool. I asked her what she meant, but she refused to say. Withdraw from the programming competition. And I'll tell you. I rolled my eyes at her in annoyance. She shouted from behind. You'll regret it if you don't listen to me. But soon, I found out what she meant by, you'll regret it if you don't listen. When I went to the 5-star restaurant where I worked part-time, I saw Oliver and Mia. They were holding a book titled, Essential Knowledge for the Poor. And mumbling to themselves. When you subscribe to a $9.9 auto renewal service, the first thing you should do is cancel the auto renewal. Chicken collarbone costs $15 per kilogram. And if you buy 1 kilogram, you will get an additional 0.5 kilogram for free. I just stood there and watched them quietly. They recited for half an hour. Mia said, Brother, hurry up and memorize. Emily said she's going to quiz you. Oliver was on the verge of a breakdown. I finally couldn't stand it anymore. What are you two doing? Oliver and Mia sat in front of me like criminals. Mia, you said this place was absolutely safe. What's going on? Mia was on the verge of tears. I didn't expect this either. Emily, are you here for dinner today? I couldn't help but say, I'm not here for dinner. I'm here to work part-time. Today is my first day. Emily, are you tired on your first day of work? Emily, when did you find this part-time job? Why didn't you tell us? I slapped the table. Stop changing the subject. Tell me the truth. When did you start lying to me? Mia immediately confessed. Emily, it's not my fault. It's all my brother. He told me to lie to you. Oliver glanced at Mia. Mia, you. I looked at Oliver. Oliver, explain. Oliver lowered his head obediently. Emily, I didn't mean to lie to you. We hadn't seen each other for so long, and I didn't know how to get close to you. I was afraid that if you knew we were rich, you wouldn't want to be friends with us. Mia quickly chimed in. Yeah, Emily, we really didn't mean any harm. I looked at them. I knew they didn't have bad intentions. But anyone, being deceived by their boyfriend and best friend for so long, would feel a bit sad, right? Finally, I said, let me be alone for a while. After I went back, I thought for a long time. I thought about what Oliver said. If I had known from the beginning that he and Mia were rich, would I still treat them the same way? And be friends with them without any burdens? If I had known about Oliver's family background earlier, would I have accepted his confession that day? I had planned to work hard with Oliver after graduation, and then get married and start a life together. I had really imagined a future with Oliver. But now, it seemed that all my plans had been disrupted. I didn't know what to do. Can a relationship between two people with a huge difference in family background really work out? Back then, my father fell in love with my mother at first sight. My mother came from a well-off family. He pestered her for 3 years. Finally, my mother agreed to marry my father. But soon after giving birth to me, my mother couldn't stand the poverty of the family and left. My father chased her to my grandfather's house, only to be told that my mother had gone abroad. When I was a child, I didn't know where abroad was. But every time I saw the pained expression on my father's face when he mentioned my mother, I knew it was a place my father couldn't reach. Can Oliver and I really have a future? Will he also leave me and go to a place I can't reach? I thought about it all night. The next day when I got up, I had huge dark circles under my eyes. Ella and Luna were shocked. Emily, are you trying to be a panda? Lily, on the other hand, looked smug. Emily, see? I told you not to reject my offer. You've been thinking all night, haven't you? Sometimes, I really wanted to open Lily's head and see what was inside. How did she even get into Tsinghua University? In the end, I ignored her. After washing up, I left alone. Behind me, Lily shouted again. Emily, how dare you ignore me? You'll regret it. How many times does this Miss Rich think I'm going to regret? I had just arrived at the library. Unexpectedly, I saw Oliver at the entrance. He was holding some books. When he saw me, he instinctively took a step forward. Then, as if he remembered something, he stopped. I looked at him. My lips moved, but I didn't say anything. Then I quickly walked past him and entered the library. I sat down at my seat and looked at the mountain of books in front of me. I fell into deep thought. The programming competition was about to start. This competition was very important. I hoped to have a good talk with Oliver after the competition. So, in the following days, I got up early and went to bed late. I put all my energy into the programming competition. But I didn't expect. On the day of the programming competition, Lily's teammate was Oliver. I stared at them for a long time. I didn't come back to my senses until my teammate called me. How could Lily not know who my boyfriend was? She looked at me with a smile, her eyes full of provocation. At the same moment, Oliver also looked at me. I looked at him expressionlessly. At that moment I had to admit, the young master and the young lady looked really well matched together. More well matched than Oliver and me. My teammate also noticed my mood. Isn't that your boyfriend? Did he cheat? I shook my head. My teammate gave me a knowing look. It's okay. No need to explain. I've been there. Let's beat them with programming skills. In that competition, I performed better than ever. I almost solved all the problems in no time. My teammate was impressed by my strong skills. Women really are fierce when they're heartbroken. After the competition, Lily came over to show off. Surprised to see my teammate? Let me tell you, Oliver's mother personally asked him to help me. Now you know how important power and wealth are in a competition. It's so sad that your boyfriend went to help someone else. I was impatient. Have you finished? Can I leave now? You're getting angry again. Who do you think you are? Just wait until the results come out. You'll be crying. I hadn't walked far when Oliver caught up with me. Emily, don't ignore me. Let's talk. I sneered. At this time, shouldn't you be celebrating your victory with your teammate? To my surprise, he grinned. What victory? I didn't know anything. I just made it up. You forgot I'm majoring in law, right? So satisfying. Oliver and I temporarily got back together as a couple. Yes, temporarily. Because of your deception. I have a huge sense of insecurity about this relationship. Until my insecurity goes away, we can only be a temporary couple. Oliver looked pitiful. Mia then ran up to me. She asked pitifully, "What about me? Since you were a major accomplice, you're punished to buy me milk tea for a week." Mia beamed. "My dear Emily, not just a week. I'd do it for a year." Oliver looked up in disbelief. Emily, why is her punishment so light? Mia also lied a lot. Before I could say anything, Mia started scolding. Oliver, look at what you're saying. Didn't I tell those white lies to help you get together with Emily? You went too far and almost ruined my friendship with Emily. No way. On the day of the programming awards ceremony, Lily looked at me haughtily from the audience. Emily, I told you to withdraw. You didn't listen and came here to embarrass yourself. Now look, not only did your boyfriend help someone else in the competition, but you also have to watch others win awards. If I were you, I wouldn't have come today. Oliver and Mia walked over. Who said our Emily couldn't win an award? Lily looked at us. Oh, you two made up. Emily, you're quite something. But Oliver, don't forget. Your mother asked you to help me. You're my teammate. This award should be half yours. Oliver couldn't help but laugh. Lily, you're really desperate. Didn't my mother tell you I'm majoring in law? My mother thought you were short of teammates and asked me to do you a favor. But I didn't expect you to be so bad at this. You didn't even realize I was just making it up. Lily got angry. Oliver, you. Sure enough, when the award-winning list was announced, my teammate and I won the first place without a doubt. And Lily didn't even get a consolation prize. Mia couldn't help but laugh out loud when she saw Lily's angry face. Lily left with a face full of anger. Just you wait. I won't let you off easily. Lily acted quickly. So quickly that when I saw Oliver and Mia's mother, I was completely stunned. Oliver's mother looked even more well-groomed than 8 years ago. She exuded the aura of a rich lady in every gesture. She got straight to the point. Tell me, how much do you want? Leave my son. I had imagined this scene countless times when reading novels. But when it actually happened to me, I felt at a loss. Seeing that I didn't speak, Oliver's mother became impatient. You've thought for so long and still can't decide? Give up on my son. He doesn't really like you. He likes that girl named Emily from our hometown. Finally, I summoned up my courage. Auntie, long time no see. I'm Emily. The words that Oliver's mother was about to say got stuck in her throat. She looked at me, her eyes wide with disbelief. What did you say? You're Emily? The Emily who grew up with Oliver and Mia? Yes, Auntie. I'm sorry I haven't visited you for so long. She quickly stood up and hugged me. No, it's all that brat Oliver's fault. He didn't tell me for so long. Then she looked at me carefully. Our Emily has grown up. You're so beautiful. How have you been these years, Emily? I told Auntie. I've been doing well these years. Our hometown has developed a lot. The villagers' incomes have increased significantly, and the public facilities have also become much more convenient. She nodded continuously. Auntie told me. A long time ago, I wanted to take Oliver and Mia back to have a look. But at that time, Oliver had an accident. He was kidnapped by an uncle from our village who came to work in the city. The kidnapper demanded 300,000 from our family. We paid the money, and Oliver came back safely. Since then, we've had a shadow over our hometown. Later, as our family situation got better and better, we became more and more cautious. We simply decided not to go back to avoid unnecessary trouble. After hearing Auntie's words, I finally understood why they hadn't returned to their hometown for so many years. Emily, ever since Oliver was kidnapped, he became very gloomy. It wasn't until he went to college that he got a little better. I originally thought he had gotten over it. It turns out he met you again. You've been a good kid since you were little. When Oliver's father and I weren't around, you always took care of him, took him to eat and play. Auntie is really grateful to you. You're like a beam of light to Oliver. Auntie hopes you can be with Oliver well. When Oliver learned that his mother had come to see me, he rushed over immediately. By then, Auntie had already left. I was the only one sitting there. Oliver was out of breath. Emily, what did my mother say to you? She didn't give you money and ask you to break up with me, did she? You didn't agree, did you? Emily, say something. I looked at him. I thought of what Auntie had said to me. You're like a beam of light to Oliver. But I tightly clutched the offer letter from a foreign university in my pocket. I also have my own future. I asked Oliver. Are you willing to wait for me for 3 years? Oliver was stunned. Emily, are you leaving? I nodded. Why didn't you discuss it with me first? This seemed to be a question that all couples would face. At that time, I wasn't sure yet. Emily, it seems that I'm not important to you at all. I'm like a disposable doll to you. He left, and I didn't stop him. I returned to the dormitory in a daze. Lily saw me like this and couldn't help but gloat. How was it? Were you humiliated by Oliver's mother? I told you. It's hard for people from different family backgrounds to be together. I ignored her and sat down on a chair, starting to cry. I felt wronged. Oliver had lied to me for so long, and I had forgiven him. I just didn't discuss my plan to study abroad with him, and he left me alone like this. Ella and Luna heard my crying. They looked at Lily angrily. Miss Rich, can't you stop picking on Emily? Yeah, just because you're rich doesn't mean you can bully others. Lily looked aggrieved. Who's bullying her? I'm just telling the truth. She chose to date a rich guy, so it's normal for his mother to humiliate her with money. Ella and and Luna's eyes lit up. They came up to me and asked, "Emily, is what Lily said true? Were you humiliated with money by your boyfriend's mom? How much did she offer?" Hearing their words, I cried even harder. At this moment, there was a sudden sound of fireworks exploding outside the balcony. Someone was confessing their love. "Look, hurry and see." I was pushed to the balcony by Ella and Luna to watch the excitement. To my surprise, downstairs stood Oliver's mother and Oliver. "Dear Emily, Auntie is here to apologize to you on behalf of this fool, Oliver. You can go abroad to study if you want, or you can work. Auntie will always support you." Someone in the dormitory started clapping. "Auntie is right. Kid, quickly apologize to Emily." Then Oliver took the megaphone and shouted, "Emily," 3 times in a row. "Sorry. I shouldn't have left you alone. Emily, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left you alone. Emily, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left you alone." Feeling embarrassed, I rushed downstairs. "Please stop shouting. Emily, so do you forgive me? I'll think about it." 3 years later, I returned from studying abroad. As I walked out of the airport, Oliver came to pick me up. I looked at him and said, "Please tell me the password." What should you do first after subscribing to a $9.9 auto renewal service? He scratched his head. "Oh no, I forgot the password. According to the rules, I can't go with you." He smiled and replied, "Cancel the auto renewal. Now it's my turn to give you my password." Before I could react, Oliver kissed me. "Emily, I've missed you so much.